And now I introduce our speaker for tonight. Her name is Dr. Valerie Bennett, a native of Atlanta, Georgia. She received a bachelor's in engineering degree in mechanical engineering from Vanderbilt University and received master's of sciences and doctor of philosophy degree in mechanical engineering, both from Georgia Institute of Technology. Dr. Bennett then worked as a software consultant for Manhattan Associates, then joined Morehouse College as an assistant professor where she taught engineering and physics courses as a part of the dual degree engineering program for 4.5 years. She then joined the faculty at Westminster School in Atlanta where she taught physics and was one of the 2 founding coaches of the robotics program. To expose students to the excitement of the importance of STEM, she worked as a physics research coordinator both for the TRIO program as a part of the Upward Bound initiative. She was also awarded the Innovative Teacher Award by the Georgia Independent Schools Association and received an innovation grant by the Georgia Education of Technology Conference. After teaching at Westminster, then was an engineering professor at Regents Engineering Transfer Program Advisor and taught at Georgia Perimeter College. Afterwards, she taught advanced placement physics, IB physics, and led the physics professional learning community at Westlake High School, where she received the Fulton County Vanguard team while also completing research with students at Georgia Tech on behalf of the Gifted program. Dr. Bennett has been a research coordinator for the Peach State Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation Program and has been awarded the Innovative Teaching Award by Georgia Independent School Association. She has served as a Morehouse College dual degree engineering program coordinator, faculty advisor for several student organizations such as the National Society of Black Engineers, Society of Physics Students, Society of Women Engineers, Spelman College, and the Packard Scholars. Dr. Bennett has been involved in several ministries at Temple of Faith, Church of God in Christ, where she has been a member of the Temple of Faith for over 20 years. She has coordinated Vacation Bible School Works. She's worked with the Ministers' Wives, ran a tutorial program, co-organized job fairs, and started a health and wellness program. She also formed the robotics ministry as a part of the Scholastic Motivation Ministries and had recently received her evangelist license. In 2015, she and her husband, Dr. Harold Bennett, launched a Pentecost for Life International Ministries whose mission is to provide teaching and service programs that celebrate the Word of God, build families, and connect the community. They have a weekly radio broadcast on Wednesdays on Love 86 AM. She is also an author of Bible Lessons for Techies, Thriving in Your Relationship with God Through a Technology Lens, which is currently being sold on Amazon. The lessons have also have an exciting accompanying curriculum with robotics and STEM related to activities which connect the Word of God to STEM and hands-on programs. I introduced to some, and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. The next voice you'll hear is Dr. Valerie Bennett, and she's been my friend for over 40 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, wow. It's just an honor to be invited to be part of this incredible group, to be part of the community, and just to share with you just a little bit more about what I do. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get into what I like to talk about today. So let me go ahead and do that. And here we are. Okay, let me go ahead and start this. All right, so can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
All right, great, great, great. So just again, thank you, Ms. Kiona Jones Green. Again, we've been friends for many, many years, and just an honor to be part of this. And also to the Honorable Felicia Moore and all of the constituents who are part of this Talk About It Tuesday. So, all right, so this is what I'm going to talk about today. I'm just going to share with you some of the programs that we have been involved in the community. Near the end, of course, tell you about some of our upcoming programs as well as how you can get involved. So, you know, she gave my background. I just wanted to add one additional thing. I am currently enrolled in the Clark Atlanta University Higher Educational Leadership Program, and I'm excited, yes, excited to just continue to grow and learn as a leader and to have an even bigger impact on our young people. So just to summarize it, I just love education. I love STEM, and I love sharing my passion about what I do with young people to show them how to just use all that they have and to be creative and to make a difference and an impact. So our organization, STEM Compass, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And our board members are Mike Foley, Ms. Joy White, and Mr. Eddie Bridgman, and they provide tremendous support into what we are doing throughout the year. So what is our mission? Well, we were established in 2014, and our mission is to navigate, educate, and motivate underrepresented groups in STEM-focused careers and entrepreneurship. And we do this through 3 pillars, and those are skill building, mindset development, as well as visioneering. And that just means to let the students know, let young people know how to have a vision and how to pursue that. And engineering part is the creative problem solving part of that. So we do this through 2 main mechanisms: student-focused programs where we have workshops, competitions, camps on robotics, drones, coding, engineering, smart cities, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So just letting you know, we really do our best to do deep tech skills. And also, we also have a juvenile justice program, but I'll tell you about, and after school programs. So for our adult focused programming, we have STEM teacher training as well as STEM parent workshops. Some of our sponsors, we have Google, especially the Black Google Network. PPG is one of our huge sponsors, and you can see some of the other logos there, but just letting you know, we are very blessed to have some great support, and we're always looking for more. So you'll see later on how you can get involved. So just to have a little fun here, I want to get some participation, but just tell me, how do you feel about STEM? And what I'd like for you to do in the chat, put your number 1, 2, or 3. 1 is like, yay, I love STEM. It is just the best thing. I'm excited about it. 2 is like, don't really know. And 3 is like, oh my God, what is it? Get it away from me. So if you could just take a moment, and I'm going to ask Mr. Norman to kind of let me know what numbers are out there, because I don't want to have to come out of the presentation and check the,
right.
Yeah, so put your number, be honest, no judgment. So what are we seeing out there, Mr. Norman?
Half of the respondents have 1 and half the respondents have 2.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty. And I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to see that, because it's okay to be a number 2, a little trepidatious. And if you were 3 and put a 2 instead, I'm okay with that. But just that gives me a good sense for, you know, where we are. And our kids really feel the same way. And some of the workshops that we plan to have in October for parents especially will help them to navigate their kids and perhaps their feelings about STEM and how to overcome that. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Okay, so why should you care? Why should you care about STEM and the numbers? So let's take a look at some of these things. And this is something that really kind of keeps me up. I think about this as to why it's important to me. So 5% of science degrees are awarded in engineering, okay, as compared to 50% in China, okay? 33% of 8th graders are interested in STEM careers, but check it out. Only about 4% of them actually graduate from college with a STEM degree, okay? 18% of high school seniors are ranked as being science proficient. That's really low, right? and only a third of high school seniors are ranked as math proficient. So we really have a lot of work to do, because this is really going to impact how they're going to, of course, pursue those degrees. But here's the good news, right? Jobs in math and STEM pay 4 times as much, and they have a really large growth in terms of technology, what we can expect to see year after year. So it's a great promise in STEM. We just have to make sure that our young people are continuing in that same vein. So here it is, guys, the leaky STEM pipeline. So if we see the numbers of kids who actually are interested in STEM, okay, this big 4 million ninth graders in 2001 who are interested, but let's look at what happens as time goes on. You know, you have a huge drop off here, right? And then high school grads is even less, college plans even less, college ready, majoring in STEM, and look, all the way down there in that little glass, right? A little bit over 160K who actually graduate STEM degrees. So we have a lot of work to do. And the area here with the red circle, that's the area that we as STEM Compass focuses on in terms of making sure we can make sure that STEM pipeline is full and we can have more of an output at the end. So wanted to share with you some of our STEM programs. So one of our programs was actually in March of last year. We were in partnership with the Atlanta Science Festival, and you see the 2 young ladies there. Those are 2 of my former students who are currently seniors at Georgia Tech. And Deja, the young lady holding her hand up, she brought the idea to me while I was teaching there at Westlake. And she was like, I really want to have this program in conjunction with STEM Compass. And we were able to pull an incredible program together. We had over 200 people who were part of this event. And these are just some of the things that we did. We had coding, we had drone activities, we had hands-on things that we did with termites. We did slime, oobleck, and we had some great community support as well. So this is a program that we did with Cascade United Methodist Church and Google, and it's called Made with Code. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video so you can see a little bit what we did.
I'll just show you how to use the Blockly code, which is the language that we use for coding in this website.
Today, STEM Compass partnered with Google to have a Made with Code workshop, a free workshop for girls. They were so excited about learning about how to code and just having some creativity and some fun.
There's a lot of programs that are very specific and very mathematical and very technical, and a lot of times kids are like, cool, that's neat, but I don't see what I could do with it. Made with Code specifically lets kids see what they can do and how they can do it and be fun with it.
Having an event that is tailored towards little girls gives them the backbone to do the things that most males are already doing.
Their minds are just ready to be molded, and their minds are ready to explore and to discover.
I think it builds independence, just being aware of that, you know, just because I'm a young lady doesn't mean that I can't, you know, create and be competitive in a male-dominated arena.
So they were exposed to a lot of things today. First of all, they were actually able to interact with our volunteers from Google to actually see young women who are in those careers, and they were actually able to be creative and build a project and see something come together from start to finish.
When girls are playing with their project, the girls around them will lean in. They're helping collaborate, they're problem solving, seeing how the other ones are playing the games. It's a domino effect of creativity. It's teamwork and it's brainstorming together.
Today I got to teach a Yeti how to dance, designed my own emoji, make new friends, and bond with people.
I learned the importance of perseverance. If you fail, it's not really a fail because you get to keep trying.
So as a mom, this means for me an opportunity to expose my daughters to things that I didn't get a chance to be exposed to, so they can see that the world is bigger than where they grow up, and they have the opportunity to be able to do and say whatever they want in this world.
My goal today is that each and every girl feels seen, feels heard, feels important, and that they know that they have something special to give to the world that no one else can give.
Well, STEM Compass would like to say thank you. We want to say thank you to Google for partnering with us in this Made with Code workshop. We also want to thank our parents, because without you, and also, letting them know that they can do it and exposing them to these opportunities, it is priceless. It means so much to us. So we want to say thank you, and stay tuned for the next STEM Compass event.
Yay.
Yay, thank you. Yes, you have a question?
I do. It's really quick. Just put this on your radar. In the city of Atlanta, I don't want to say it's something bad, but it's a good problem that we could probably maybe use your organization to help solve. We have, I guess, a crew of young men called the Bottle Boys. And I'm thinking this would this could be something that, I don't know what's going on, but we could kind of team up with whatever the city of Atlanta has right now, because this is just something that they need. You said you had an entrepreneurship track and a college track or a technical school track, because everybody, of course, may not go to college, but this would be a great opportunity, for them to show them the way or lead them down a path to, something successful like this. So just kind of keep it on your radar.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And I have some great ideas to, help and, work with the team for that. So thank you. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, so these are just some of the pictures from that day, and the parents got involved. You see them over there giggling, working together. And so it was just a great time, a great event we had. Something else we did at a church, which was called our STEAM Fun Day. And this was a multifaceted program as well, where we actually had a parent workshop where we provided resources for them to understand how to fund their kids to go to college. So they had their own session, we had coding going on, and we had some additional hands-on activities. So you see some of the things here that the kids are doing with electrostatics. They got to understand how that works, forces, things that they can't see, and how it makes a difference. So here are some more pictures that we had. We had just a great group. You see kind of the age range we had there. We had some Girl Scouts that came out, and just a phenomenal day. Here are some pictures here with our parent workshop. Miss Tamika Williamson, she did a phenomenal job. And we really had them explore and be creative with our coding component we had that day. And here are some of our great volunteers we had. Okay, another program we had was in partnership with Spelman College's Education Department, also the Black Googler Network, and this was called our We Do Robotics program. Okay, video.
What we did today is called the We Do Lego Robotics 2.0 workshop for students. We talked to them, first of all, about the design process. How do you kind of put your ideas together to come up with a common goal?
So they had to spend some time doing some brainstorming, thinking about different sounds they may hear outside in the forest, in the woods, or maybe inside in their home. They were then able to code those sounds if they wanted into the item that they were building.
I think the students are understanding the basis of it's more than just putting a Lego together, but actually looking at not only the end product, but how you actually have to move different things even when you have an end result, that it may take multiple times in order to actually get to the process that actually makes that robotic move. So I think that's an empowering moment for some of them.
Today I learned that it is okay to fail, because when you fail, that's how you learn. Sometimes it doesn't work the first time when you do it, so you have to try multiple times to make it perfect or how you want it to be.
They had fun, they networked and they met people, but what they did was they was able to use their minds in a way that they didn't know how to before today.
It's very important because the youth is the future, and if they have the knowledge, it will be easier for them to navigate in a corporation like Google or any of the big Silicon Valley companies. And it's good for them to have that knowledge and know how to think on the fly.
We're excited about our teacher workshop because we want to not only touch the lives of the children, but to work with the teachers who have such a direct influence on what they can do in the classroom, and to share with them some skills, give them the exposure to what it means to have their kids work with a robot in the classroom.
They actually got to experience what it's like to be the student for once. They got to understand all the different components of the Lego We Do program, and they actually built their own robots and understood how to program movement and sound with their robot.
For me, my biggest takeaway was that Lego robotics is not as tough as it seems. I've been wanting to teach myself how to deal with Lego robotics, and now I see that it is really attainable.
STEM Compass would like to hear and just...
Okay, so wanted to share about that. We were also incredibly blessed to work with the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, the MECA chapter, during their STEM Day. And we had the young ladies build their own robot. They coded their robots, and we had like a mini competition at the end of that day. So having them just get involved and to learn this for the first time, many of them for the very first time. You see them putting their robots together, and just like sometimes with anything new, they were able to work through those challenges, and we just had a phenomenal day. So here we are standing with our robots. We actually raced them down the hall. So it was just a great time that day. So as we shifted now into this kind of virtual world now, since, COVID-19, we had to, adjust how we were going to implement our programming. So right in April, the whole month of April and into May, we had Saturday Coding Ninja workshops. So every Saturday, our students learned a new language. They were shown or told how to get certifications through that process, and we had little projects that they had to finish as well. At the very end, we had computer science career panel discussions with some amazing CS stars who were working in the industry, as well as some of our students who were current computer science students who share with students, what is it like to be, in a computer science class? What is it like after you graduate, and what can I expect in terms of career? What can I do? So here are some of those persons that we had who did a phenomenal job in sharing what they did. We had Mr. Delmar Whittington. He is the president and CEO of Ceridia Technology Solutions. We had Dr. Jaquita Thomas, who is a professor of computer science and software engineering at Auburn, and she also is co-founder of Pharaoh's Conclave, an esports company, and they do esports STEM camps, just phenomenal. And here are two of my students, Deja White and Mr. Spencer Ray, computer science students who also help facilitate some of those workshops. So they got to see, what is it like to be a student, and then what is it like to then pursue those careers, okay? Then we rolled into our STEM virtual camps, and this was throughout the entire month of June. And we had two pathways. We had elementary classes and middle school students, And each of the camps had a different focus each week. So we did coding, artificial intelligence, ear sketch, smart cities, engineering, and environmental science. So it was a different focus each week. And they had to present their projects to a panel, to the other students, and they had to communicate their knowledge through those particular projects. So these are just some of the flyers we had for each of those weeks. And we had a camper spotlight. One of our students who was going in, who was a middle schooler, and you know, her mom just called me and was just very excited about what she was doing. She was always looking forward to camp, and we just wanted to spotlight her. We had another parent who was just, oh my goodness, I can't begin to tell you. But this particular parent told me that when they learned Ear Sketch, which is a Python-based language that helps you code music. And she began to tell me that he actually presented his project during one of the family Zoom calls and just was so excited to share what he did. And, you know, he does kind of DJing on the side. So this actually helped him to be able to just really refine that and come up with some custom made music through coding. So these are just some other flyers we had with the different focuses. And then July, okay, we had a Smart City Boot Camp. And the smart cities is something I know our city planners know a lot about. And it's just a way of using technology to enhance city life, whether that be sidewalks where you can walk on and it charges something, or it energizes, or sidewalks that melt, especially in the Northeast, where they use that energy to propel something else in the city. So it's just a great way to tell students and to let them know what are some of the cutting edge things we can do now to be able to prepare our city to be what we call a smart city. So these are just some of the screenshots from all the young people that were on and the projects they presented. We had persons from industry who were actually listening to those projects and providing feedback. So you see some of the pictures here that they did in Tinkercad, a rendering of their city. I thought I had some other, oh, there we go. And then they also developed an app which also help people to understand and know where this technology is. And sometimes we use those things even now. They have apps where they can tell you where the open parking spaces are. That's an example of, you know, smart city application, very practical thing that can be done. But our students thought even more outside of the box and came up with some great ideas. So what do our numbers say in some of the work that we've done? So before attending our workshops, if you look at the green kind of wedges there, you see that their interest, the green indicates a high interest in STEM, the white is a low interest. So our goal is of course to see an increase in their level of interest after. And that's exactly what we saw. So at the bottom here, you see the red indicates that they had more interest. And that's extremely, extremely important for us because we want to continue to keep their interest. So this brings me to kind of the last program I wanted to present here, which is something that is near and dear to my heart. And it's a program for our first-time offenders STEM program to reduce recidivism rates here in the city. And we call that our STEM Power program, where POWER stands for preparation, opportunities, work, excellence, and reinvent. And what does that mean? Well, we know that there is a problem here, right? A problem in terms of, we saw the STEM numbers I presented earlier, but our graduation rate for African-American males in Georgia is about 43%. In the city of Atlanta, it's around 34%. And we know that our young males, unfortunately, are 2.5 times more likely to be suspended from school than their white counterparts. And I began to, of course, see that in my own work as an educator, how those Black males tend to be, you know, put in detention and suspended and things of that nature, which leads to, unfortunately, juvenile delinquency. So taking it even further, right? Recidivism rates here in our city, they tend to be on the order of, after the first year, about 27%. After the second year, right, it reduces, but still those numbers are increasing, unfortunately, after those first, second, and third year. The numbers get even more interesting. So in terms of the youth detention center, their location, in terms of the number of people that are actually served, it's a total of about 746 young people. And this is, I think, 2015 data, but that's a lot of young people in our system. So what we wanted to take a look at, right? Well, what was the cost of containment? And it is approximately about $91,000 per bed per year. The regional youth, the youth centers is about $88,000. That's a lot of money. You see the little kid, you know, y'all remember Little Rascals, right? But it's just basically money that is not being used, I guess, in the most efficient way. And I know we have so many people who are working really, really hard to change and help our young people. So math-wise, right, you know it's going to throw some math in there, but that's a lot of money that's being used to hopefully, right, to basically rehabilitate our young people. But our STEM program, which I'm going to show you, is a solution, an idea that we think will make a big difference. So what we did about 4 years ago, we actually partnered with the Learning Center, the Learning Club program that is currently in our Fulton County Juvenile Court System, the Romie Powell Juvenile Justice Center. And what they do in the TLC program is an educational program that serves kids from about, now the number's about 12 to 18 years old, misdemeanor crimes, and it's an alternative to going to the juvenile treatment facility. And these are court mandated. They have to go every Saturday from about 12 to 3. So this is about 5 years ago, about 4 years ago, and we were able to partner with them to do the following. We came to them and said, hey, we'd love to implement about a 5 or 6 week collaborative program that will involve robotics, computer science, literacy. And this program was the first of its kind in the Metropolitan Atlanta Juvenile Justice System. We were very excited about that. And so they built robots, they coded them, and we had a competition at the end. And we partnered with ATL Reed to be able to help us with the literacy component. It was a great partnership. So here are some of the pictures that, you know, from the course of that. It was actually 8 weeks because we came back and we just wanted to do more and more. So here they were building their robots. We had volunteers that typically work through the AU Center. See the young lady there from Spelman. There's Kelly there from ATL Reed. And they're just working together, you know. It was just a great time. So they would come back week after week to continue to build on their robots and make them more elaborate. Okay, there are some of the books there. A competition day, we had lots of parent participation. We also had speakers to come in as well. Mr. Maui Davis came and just did a phenomenal job to give the young people a sense for, you know, what's after this, right? To encourage them to continue on a great pathway. Okay, and I'm not going to play this whole video, but this is just a little bit. Let me see if it will play. Not sure if it will play, but basically their robot had to go from one blue line to the other, pick something up and take it to another blue line. And it was pretty intense that day that they were able to use their math to figure out how far the robot had to go, what it had to do to complete a task. And it was just a phenomenal afternoon. So here's what we were able to find based on our data. 53% of those young people had little to no interest in STEM areas, but after 92% had an increase in their interest in STEM, and we were just blown out of the water. We knew that that interest was there. We wanted to make sure we can do something that will have a hands-on, a tangible impact in their lives. So here are just some more numbers for you just to kind of get you thinking, right? We talked about the $91,000 per bed per year, but look at some of the STEM tools that can be used in substitution of the funding that's currently being used. So some of these STEM tools are, $100, $300, right? And it's something that we can put in their hands, something we can show them how to use. There's definitely careers in drones, right? Licenses they can get, just so much they can do, and that we're going to be able to have an impact. Here again, here are some other STEM tools, right, that can be used to get them on a great pathway. So we know the impact of education, and this is basically our idea, right? We're taking those screen first-time offenders, having a STEM-focused education intervention, and reducing that recidivism rate and their increase in interest in college in STEM-focused careers. So what are we doing now? So we are very blessed to, we applied for funding through the Jack and Jill Foundation, and we were able to get funding to expand our STEM Power program. And this time it will be a full year. They will have a full STEM curriculum with the areas you see there: cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, machine learning, sensors, esports. They will have college prep sessions, again, letting them know the options, 2- and 4-year options. We're going to add historical African heritage component, letting them know our strong background, our strong foundation of STEM innovation, and letting them see and hear from African American male tech stars who will be their mentors as well. Okay, so what are some of our upcoming programs? So the phase 2 of our STEM Power program will begin in September of this year. We will have some more virtual coding workshops, which will also start in September of this year. And our STEM parenting mindfulness workshops, which I mentioned earlier, those will start in October of 2020. So here's how you can get involved. We are always looking for tremendous help, people to help us in our mission. So we're looking for volunteers, those persons who would like to be tech teachers, tech mentors. We are looking for persons in industries, companies who can provide STEM internships. And that means providing some great authentic STEM experience, perhaps a day in the life. Those things mean so much to our young people. They can see STEM in action. And as well, we are, of course, always looking for funding, funding where it will be a financial contribution, if there can be STEM kits, as well as any type of in-kind donations. We would definitely welcome that as well. And this is how you can reach us. Our website is stemcompassinc.org, and there's my email, vbennett@stemcompassinc.org, and there's our phone number, 678-884-3831. And again, we can probably put that in the chat for you as well, but that's how you can reach us. Of course, definitely follow us out there on all social media. You can see the latest and greatest of what's going on. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we're out there. And I'll end with this and then open it up for questions. We'd love for you to provide your contact information. You can use your phone and scan that QR code and fill out this short contact information, just your name, email, and what you're interested in, right? And we have a little incentive there. If you fill this out for us by the 20th with a valid email address, you'll get a chance to win a Chick-fil-A gift card. So I know I have to stop here and any questions, but thank you so much for the opportunity to share.
Are there any questions for Dr. Bennett? If you put it in the chat, I can read them, or just unmute yourselves so you can ask questions.
Oh.
Okay, so nobody has any questions.
I'm happy to see Ms. Knowles there. Her young people participated in our camp, so
I guess I have a question. This is Ben. How do you see overcoming the challenge of the digital divide between the underprivileged kids that you're trying to show this wonderful technology to, but yet they may not have access to continue that at home due to lack of resources?
That's a great question. Can I call you Ben? Is
Yes,
that
Ben. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. So we have to kind of tackle that from two ways, right? We have to tackle it from actually finding those groups of students and just straight up providing the resource. Here's the resource that you can have. You can work with it. We're not going to take it back up at the end of the year. It is yours. So literally putting that in their hands. The other component is finding a way to make sure that they have exposure to programs, you know, so that digital divide is being narrowed because everyone has free access. And what people do not know, a lot of the platforms that are out there now are free. They're web-based. You don't have to pay to get access to. People just don't know about them. So they're, and that's a great thing now. A lot of these resources are free, but people just don't know about them. So that's what I suggest.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
This is Kaya Moss, and I'm the parent that Dr. Bennett was referring to. You know, I live here in
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're a little garbled a little bit. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Oh, can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, and let me suggest turning the video off, and I think your audio might improve a little bit just because of the bandwidth.
Okay. Let's try that. Is that better?
Oh, that's a lot better. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so my name is Kaya Moss. I live here in Dayton, Ohio. And what I find significant is with Dr. Bennett, it didn't matter that she's in Atlanta and we're here in Dayton, Ohio, which I don't even know how many miles it is, but I'm thinking 8 to 10 hours minimum, right? I want to stress the point about parent awareness. I met Dr. Bennett through a church conference, the Scholastic Motivations piece that she referred to, and I reached out to her, and she then told me about this program that she was referring to over the summer. Well, it was a must for my children because I know that the digital divide is real. Number one. Number two, I also work in an environment where I recognize the future of work. That's the world I would live in on a daily basis. In order to provide my children with what is next, I had to be an advocate for them. It's not always going to be readily available in front of me. So my ask is, when we're asked about the digital divide, how much information are parents receiving about the opportunities like a Dr. Bennett to be in their children's lives? So I think that really begins to speak to the parents, who are the people that make the decisions for the children. And that begins to help them see the possibilities that they didn't even realize were there.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes. Were there any other questions?
Yeah, so, well, all right, let me recap what she was asking. Yeah, she was
Okay,
asking
yeah, I was
about,
about to do it.
yeah, parent
Okay.
parent participation and how you get the word out about these programs for the kids, because ultimately it's the parents that have to see that these programs are available before they can engage the kids in your program. So what kind of community outreaches that you have to reach out to the parents first to let them know about these opportunities?
Yes, that's a great question. I'm getting better at that. Outside of using social media, making sure that the schools have the information and they disseminate it to their parent population, because most schools now require that parents get weekly communications. So just making sure I can get it in the right hands, and we have some mechanisms now that we can get that out there more, and hopefully it'll be seen and disseminated but the schools is a good way that we're going to use to disseminate more, to get the word out a lot better.
Can I say something? I'll piggyback on what Dr. Bennett said. There are 25 NPUs in the city of Atlanta, and what I can do is connect with all of my counterparts so that we can get all this information out, disseminated through the NPUs, because the NPU is deals with neighborhood planning unit. All of the communities are particularly connected to their NPU, and this will be a great way to start filtering out this information, because disseminating the information, is free. So, and I'll start with Miss Ola Reynolds of NPUG. She's on the phone. You can check. You can go to her, attend one of her Zoom meetings also and a couple of other friends, my NPU ILK, and we can start assisting because this is some great information. So we don't have a problem with help disseminating.
Dr. Bennett, I just want to say it was a great presentation, and I was, wanted to know if you had connected with APS. You said, I know with the pandemic and everything, it's just, we're learning a new way of communicating, and with the new superintendent, that we have on board now, because this is so important. I don't believe all the APS schools have the STEM program. Do you concur with that, Ms. Green?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but one thing I do know is Dr. Herron is a community-oriented superintendent. She says that all the time. So starting with Erica Mitchell, she's great. She's community-oriented. A couple of the other board members. So that's just a phone call or an email to say, hey, let's connect. Let's get this information pushed out through our schools, because Dr. Herron, I know for a fact that she's a community-oriented
person.
Superintendent. Yeah, superintendent. So, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. Thank you.
Any other questions for Dr. Bennett? No questions?
Maybe I answered them all. I don't know.
Listen, she did such a great job, and so I said, now, STEM, I had to go, okay, I forgot about it because Dr. Burks was during the STEM program, up at Douglas High School when he was there, and he was good. But it's a great program, but math is one of the hardest subjects for some of our children, even though it's especially if they don't have that help once they get home.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. It's those math and reading scores are, the indicators for, how they're going to design, unfortunately, the prisons. So getting some better support for math skills, because you're right, they leave home or they're at home and they're like, mom, dad, or whomever's there, help me with that. So we do need to do a better job help in that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's sad in a sense. I was just looking at the percentage of the Black males, and they are basically the ones that is filling our jails up. Our youth, and I always say it starts at home. Everything begins at home. And if you do not have someone that really nurturing them and encouraging them too, and helping them. So it's sad, but I am concerned about all our children and where they're headed.
Yes, ma'am. And you make a great point, because that's such a tremendous talent pool that is being neglected. And just tapping into that, just piquing their interest and then developing, will help our whole country advance technologically. And so that's just one potential solution. There are others, but this is one.
That's true.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, once again, thank you so much.
Well,
Great
thank you.
information.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bennett, and we may have you back soon. So, and I'll make sure that the other leaders within our NPU, I'll share your, the flyer and your information with them. So, not trying to rush, but we have another a 7 o'clock Zoom call that we don't want to be late for because we're the hosts.
Yes.
So, this is great. It was fabulous, fantastic. Thank you. I love you, girl. Mwah.
Back at you. Thank you.
Appreciate everybody.
Yes, thank you.
And Benjamin, let's give a shout out to Benjamin, the webmaster.
Always.
We take it for granted, like, it's just so easy and so smooth. No, it's not. Ben he's on point. So,
That's right.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
My pleasure.
Because he's that IT guy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be helping me with mines on Thursday night. So.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank
you all
See you
so
guys
much.
later.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
Bye.
Love you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.